The Curse of Maplewood. Once upon a time, in the quaint town of Maplewood, Halloween was the most magical night of the year. Children dressed as witches, ghosts, and superheroes filled the streets, their laughter echoing through the crisp autumn air. The houses were adorned with glowing jack-o'-lanterns, and the scent of caramel apples and cinnamon lingered as families celebrated the season. But all of that changed one fateful October. One by one, children began to vanish on Halloween night. There was no pattern, no trace of struggle, just eerie silence where joyful voices had once been. The first year it was little Tommy Grayson. The next it was the Anderson twins. By the third year, 5 more children had disappeared without a single clue left behind. Fear spread like wildfire through the town, and the once beloved holiday became a source of dread. Parents locked their doors, and the streets that had once been filled with excitement and laughter fell into an eerie stillness. Halloween was banned in Maplewood. For years, the town remained trapped in its fear. Jack-o'-lanterns no longer flickered on porches, and children grew up hearing whispered warnings never to set foot outside on October 31st. The town's past was buried beneath caution, but the shadow of the disappearances never truly faded. The return of Halloween. Then came Daniel Harper, a 16-year-old boy who refused to live in fear. Unlike the other kids, he had always been fascinated by the town's lost tradition. He had read old newspaper clippings, searched through archives, and listened to hushed stories from the elders. The mystery consumed him. Why had the children vanished? And why only on Halloween? Determined to find answers, Daniel gathered his 2 best friends, Lucy and Ben, and proposed a daring plan. They would bring Halloween back. At first, his friends protested. "You're insane," Lucy had said. "People disappeared, Daniel. This isn't just some legend. It's real." Ben nodded in agreement. "If our parents find out, we're grounded for life. Or worse." But Daniel was relentless. "We'll be careful. We won't trick-or-treat like the kids before us. We'll just stay out and watch. If anything happens, we'll run." Against their better judgment, Lucy and Ben agreed. The Night of Shadows. On the night of Halloween, the 3 friends met at the old Maplewood Cemetery, the last place anyone had seen the missing children. The night was cold, the wind whispering through the bare branches. The streets were deserted, houses dark and silent, as if the town itself was holding its breath. They carried flashlights, their beams slicing through the gloom as they waited. Minutes turned to hours, and just as Lucy was about to declare the whole thing a waste of time, a sound broke the silence. A child's laughter. It came from the trees beyond the graveyard. Soft, melodic, and completely out of place. Daniel's heart pounded. "Did you hear that?" Lucy and Ben nodded, their faces pale. Without another word, they followed the sound. It led them deeper into the woods, where the trees grew twisted and gnarled, their branches clawing at the sky like skeletal fingers. The deeper they went, the louder the laughter became, until suddenly, they saw them. The missing children. They stood in a circle, their faces frozen in eerie smiles, their eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. Their clothes were the same as the nights they had vanished, untouched by time. But something was wrong, terribly wrong. They did not move like normal children. Their motions were too fluid, their limbs too weightless, as if they were being controlled by unseen forces. Then, a whisper drifted through the air. "Join us." A figure emerged from the shadows, a tall, hooded being with hollow eyes that burned like embers. It raised a skeletal hand, and the laughter turned to wails of agony. The missing children trembled as if trapped in invisible chains. "The town forgot us," the figure said, its voice like dry leaves in the wind. "But you did not." Daniel's breath hitched. "What do you want?" The figure tilted its head. "A trade." The 3 friends stepped back, but the ground beneath them shifted. Shadows stretched, reaching for them. The missing children, their faces pleading, tried to speak, but no words came out. "You must take their place," the figure continued. "3 souls for the lost ones." Ben turned to run, but the shadows wrapped around his ankles, pulling him down. Lucy screamed. Daniel fought against the invisible force dragging him forward. He had wanted to solve the mystery, but not like this. Thinking fast, he reached into his pocket and pulled out his flashlight, shining it directly at the hooded figure. The creature hissed, recoiling from the light. The children's wails grew louder, and the shadows wavered. "Light!" Daniel shouted. Lucy and Ben fumbled with their flashlights, turning them on, beams piercing through the darkness. The figure screeched, its form flickering like a dying flame. The shadows retreated, and one by one, the missing children collapsed to the ground, gasping for air. The hooded figure let out a final, bone-chilling scream before vanishing into the night. The end of the curse. The children were found the next morning, weak but alive, their memories hazy. The town rejoiced, though they never fully understood what had happened that night. Daniel, Lucy, and Ben kept the truth to themselves. Halloween returned to Maplewood, but never again was it taken lightly. Every year, lanterns burned bright, keeping the darkness at bay. And though the town moved on, Daniel never forgot the voice that had whispered in the night. A trade. Some mysteries were never meant to be solved.